Hi everybody, let's get started with Domain 2.0 hands-on unit end exercise. The first thing we'll do, as always, is split our screen into two windows so we can keep the instructions visible while we are working. In order to do that, we will go to the View tab, over to the window group here, and we will click the Split button. This creates two windows into the same document, which are independently scrollable. I'm going to leave my top window here at the top of the document. In my bottom window, I'm going to scroll all the way down to the instructions. And I'm also going to adjust the split by mousing over where the windows split till I get this resizing handle. I can click and drag. I'm going to make my bottom window just a little smaller than my top window so that I have a little bit more room to work up here, but I can still see my instructions easily. Okay, step number 1, apply built-in styles to text. We are going to apply the style title to the top 2 lines of the document. So I will select 1 and 2. I will come to the Home tab, to the Styles group, and I will find the style titled Title. Click on that, and now I have a nice centered large title. Now, this is just me being fussy, but I like this book image to be a little bit more centered inside those top and bottom lines, so I'm just going to click and drag right on it and put it where I want it. Not in the instructions, but I like it. So there you have it. Okay, apply style subtitle to the third line. This would be our authors. So let's go ahead and click anywhere in that line and then move back to the styles group on the Home tab and select subtitle. Notice this is a paragraph-wide setting. This makes everything between hard returns the subtitle. So I don't need to select the entire line. I can just click anywhere inside the line and apply a style. I will click on the word introduction, and we are going to apply the style header 1 to that fourth line. So let's go ahead and find header 1 and click on it. All right, now we have a nicely formatted title, a nicely formatted subtitle, and a section header that looks nice as well. Let's go ahead and save because this is good work and we do not want to lose it. Move on to number 2, using the Format Painter. Remember, the Format Painter allows us to take formatting from one section of text and easily apply it to other sections of the text. So we want all of our paragraph headings or section headings to look like this. I could just click on them and apply the header 1 style, or I could select the part of my text that looks the way I want. I can come up to the File tab and, the Home tab, and check Format Painter. I'm going to click 2 times because that turns Format Painter on and leaves it on until I am done using it. Remember, a single click will only give you a one-time use. So there's my paintbrush. Here's the first instance of a section header. So I'll click and drag over Career Wellbeing, scroll down to Financial Wellbeing, click and drag, Social Wellbeing, Physical Wellbeing, Community Wellbeing, and I believe, yes, Resources for Giving is my last section header. Okay, and now that I'm done painting with my Format Painter, I will come back to the clipboard group and single click to turn that off. Okay, that was step number 2. Looking good so far. Step number 3, we're going to use the Clear Formatting button to clear the formatting from the second paragraph of the Social Wellbeing section, the one that begins to study how. Okay, scroll back up. Oh yeah, I see it now. To study how one of our, and you'll notice with this dotted underline, that means that this text is formatted as hidden. So if I didn't have my settings checked to show that all the time, we wouldn't see this paragraph. Obviously, we've decided that we don't want this to be hidden, so I'm going to clear that formatting by clicking and dragging over the entire paragraph, coming to the Home tab, to the Font group, to the Clear Formatting button, and clicking 1 time. Dotted line's gone. This is no longer formatted as hidden text. Let's save. Okay. Step number 4, find and replace. Okay, we're going to look for the word areas. We're going to find it 4 times. For the first 3, we're going to replace with the word facets. We're going to leave the last instance alone. Fair enough? Now, pro tip when it comes to using find and replace, it works a lot like spell check in that it starts looking through your document wherever your cursor happens to be. which isn't a huge problem because it will circle back to the beginning after it tells you that it's done. But in this case, we only want to replace the first 3 instances, so it's important to make sure we're getting the first 3. So I'm going to click my mouse so my cursor is blinking right here in front of the very first word in my document. Home tab, all the way over to the editing group. I'm going to click the replace button. This window opens up and I'm going to leave it up here so that I can keep my eye on the document. I'm going to say I want to find the word areas and I'm going to replace with the word facets. So I'm going to go to the find next button here and I'm going to let Word find the first instance and I will replace just that one by clicking the word replace. Word automatically advances to the next instance of areas. So I'll replace one more time. And here's the third instance. I say replace. It finds the last instance here in the instructions, and I don't need to replace that because that's number 4. So we can just close. Awesome. Good for us. We did it. Okay. Number 5, insert symbols and or special characters. We're going to be working in the introduction paragraph. So I will, in my top window, grab the scroll bar, click and drag all the way back up to the top until I find the introduction paragraph. There it is. It looks like we're going to insert the trademark symbol into the text after each type of well-being that's listed here in the final sentence. Career, social, right here. So in order to insert a symbol, we first put our mouse right where we want that symbol to go. And then we will go to the Insert tab because we are inserting something. We're going to come over to the Symbol drop down in the Symbols group. Now, lucky me, I have used the trademark symbol before, so it is sitting right here in my quick access panel. But if it's not there, just click the More Symbols button, and you should be able to search it out under here in your Symbols menu. Right here, I select the one I want, I click the Insert button, and in it goes. I'm going to say Close, and now I will put my cursor after the next place where I want it to go. Grab my symbol menu here, and the trademark is right there because I used it last. I will repeat for financial well-being. Click, symbol, choose the one I want. Click, symbol, choose the one I want. And one more time for community well-being. And there we are. Let's go ahead and save. That's number 5, knocked in the hat. Number 6, applying text effects. This is fun. So we're going to select the top line of the document, which is the word well-being. Okay, click and drag. Or you can just put your mouse inside that word and give it a nice, easy double click. A double click will select a whole word. We will apply text effects. We're looking for glow, 8 points, blue, accent color 1. Okay, text effects live on the Home tab in the font group in this text effects button. Click here to get your drop down. This is a whole bunch of pre-made word art, but all we want to do is apply a glow. So I'm going to go down to the glow menu here, and I've got some glow variations already pre-baked for me, and I know I want a blue one. So let's explore this blue list. This first one looks pretty close. It's a glow 5-point blue accent color 1. The next one down is a glow 8-point blue accent color 1, which is what we want. So let's grab it. And now I have a lovely blue glow on my well-being, but the book has more of like this dark red business on it. And if we scroll down just one more step, we will see that they want us to change the glow color to dark red. So let's select the word well-being with a nice double click inside of it. We'll go back to the text effects button here, and we'll go down to the glow, get that fly out menu there on the side, and this time we're going to go all the way down to more glow colors. And you will see there is a list right over here called standard colors, and the very first one in line is dark red. Go ahead and click it, and now our title has a dark red glow. Perfect. Let's save. Okay, number 7, set line and paragraph spacing and indentation. So we're going to work with that middle paragraph of the social well-being section again that we previously stripped of its hidden formatting, the one that begins to study how. Now we're going to be working in line spacing and paragraph indentations Those are settings at the paragraph level, which means they're going to apply to the whole paragraph. So if I click my mouse anywhere inside this paragraph, anything I choose from the paragraph group here is going to apply to this whole paragraph. And by paragraphs, I mean anything in between hard returns. So I'm going to turn on my show hide formatting marks right here, and you can see that there's a hard return here, and there's a hard return here. And by hard return, I just mean there was more room on the line to type, but instead of using it, we hit our enter key to force a line break. So as far as Word is concerned, everything between hard returns is a paragraph. So if I put my mouse inside here, every setting I choose from paragraph is going to apply to everything from here down to here. So what it wants us to do is change the line spacing to single. So I'm going to make sure my cursor is blinking inside the paragraph I want to affect. I'm going to come up to the paragraph group, and this button right here is the line and paragraph spacing button. I grab the drop down, I select single. And now everything in between these two hard returns is single spaced. Everything above it and below it is still spaced in a half or whatever the spacing was. Looks like we now want to, we changed the line spacing to single. Oh yeah, we're going to change the left and right indentations to an extra 0.5 inches. So once again, we can either grab this line spacing button here and come down to line spacing options to get this dialog box, which has the indentation section on it, or I'm going to cancel out of here. We can also go to the paragraph group and access the same menu through this paragraph settings launcher right here. So if I click here, I get the very same dialog box with the same tools on it. This indentation left and right, what this does is it allows you to select an indentation that is above and beyond what you've already set aside for your margins. So if I have 1-inch margins already, if I apply an extra 0.5 inches to the left and 0.5 on the right, you can see in this preview box down here, I'm going to end up with an extra 1/2 inch of white space on this side and this side. I'll say OK, and sure enough, I indent by an extra 1/2 inch here and an extra 1/2 inch here. And this change only applied to this section, this paragraph, because Word saw this hard return here, and it was hands off above and hands off below. So I'm going to turn off my show hide formatting marks there so we can move along. So that was step number 7. Let's go ahead and save while we're on a roll. Number 8, insert a page break. We're going to create a page break before the resources for giving heading. Sounds fair? Let's scroll down to that extra little section at the end for charity lists. I'm going to click right in front of the R in resources for giving. And I'm going to go to the insert tab, and I'm going to go to the pages group and choose the page break. And this forces Word, even though there's extra room up here, to let go of all this room and begin resources for giving on its own page. Number 9, make the list of items under resources for giving a separate section. Okay, so if I want to have a separate section here, I need to insert a section break to alert Word to the fact that I'm going to do something different for this chunk of my text. So insert a continuous section break before Kids Alive International. So I make sure my cursor is blinking right before the first charity. You would think that I could insert a section break in the same place I found a page break. Not true. You would have to come over to the Layout tab, and then in the Page Setup group, there is a button here called Breaks. Now, you can get a page break from here, same thing as on the Insert tab, but it gives you a whole bunch more options. What we want is a continuous section break. This means I'm going to tell Word I'm going to do something different after this that I don't want to do to the rest of the document. So I will click here to insert that section break. I will insert another one after the last charity to alert Word to the fact that this is the end of my new section. So I'll come, make sure my cursor is blinking here, come back to the Layout tab, go back to the Breaks button, and insert another continuous section break. All continuous means is that I'm not going to start a new page for each of these. They're just going to be on the page where they live. All right, so it looks like nothing happened here, but if we go back to the Home tab and turn on your show hide formatting marks, you will see that I now have started a section right here, started a section break, and I have ended it right here. So everything in between those two section breaks is its own thing. So let's go ahead and turn that off. And we'll go, that was number 9, we'll go down to 10. Okay, so here's what we're going to do with our new section. We're going to format that new section into 3 columns. So I'm going to click in any part of the section that I just created. Doesn't matter where, as long as it's inside the section. And I'm going to apply 3 column formatting. So all I need to do is head up to the Layout tab, come to the Page Setup group, to the Columns button, and say I would like 3 columns in this section. I'll click, and there we go. Now my columns are divided into 3. So let's scroll back up so that I can see what's going on here. Okay, so I just applied that 3 column formatting to that section only. I also want to apply narrow margins to the new section only, just because there's some weird line breaks in here, and I just want to use a little bit of this white space on either side. So again, paragraph settings apply only to the section. So I'm going to click anywhere inside that section, doesn't matter where, as long as it's inside. I will come to the Layout tab, to the Margins group, and they are normal now. I want them to be narrow. So I'll go ahead and click on Narrow. And now you can see my columns spread out just a little into this white space on the edges, which prevents not all of the line breaks, but some of the more unattractive ones. So the last thing says to click anywhere else in the document to verify that this new margin setting applied only to my section. So let's scroll up a little bit. I'll just click inside this last paragraph, the community well-being, and click on margins. And you can see that the normal margins are still in effect everywhere except that new section. So we have done our work exactly right. That was the last step. Looks like we have completed Domain 2.0 hands-on exercises. Congratulations, everybody. You are now free to either repeat this exercise as often as you want until you feel comfortable, or move on to Domain 3.0.